Welcome to Women Who Recruit. I'm your host, Laura, founder of Hope's Consult, a training and advisory business for recruitment agencies in Australia. I've spent my entire career in recruitment, and I'm just as passionate about our industry today as I was nearly 20 years ago. The purpose of this podcast is to get to know and celebrate the incredible women who dedicate their careers to our industry. This isn't just about their highlight reels or the big rise to the top, although we will definitely touch on that. We'll be talking about what it actually looks like: career choices, leadership challenges, ambition, doubt, burnout, and the constant juggle of work, family, and everything in between. If you work in recruitment and you want to be inspired by the stories of women in our industry, then this podcast is definitely for you. Welcome to Women Who Recruit. I am so glad you are here. Okay, everyone, welcome to this week's episode. I am delighted to be here with Danielle Johnson.
Thank you.
From Sirius. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to sit down and have a natter with you. So I'm just going to start with a little intro to Danielle, and sorry if this makes you feel uncomfortable. No. Everyone hates their bio being read out. But just to give you guys some context, entering her 21st year in recruitment business management, Danielle leads Sirius as the national director across 4 diverse brands: Sirius People, Sirius Technology, Culminate Solutions, and Industrious People. She was named the 2025 RCSA Recruitment Leader of the Year. She's also vice chair of the RCSA Council and a member of the RCSA Executive Network, actively shaping the future of the recruitment industry. What truly sets Danielle apart is her passion for people, whether that's helping clients build high-performing teams or mentoring her own teams to achieve their potential. She's a firm believer in continuous improvement, leveraging data-led insights to identify opportunities, fill gaps, and drive meaningful change. A mother of 2, passionate about cooking and experimenting in the kitchen, lives on the South Coast, Wollongong, repping for the Wollongong, huge sports fan, and truly believes that life starts after 40. I'm hoping so, because I'm 40 in August. So for Danielle, the journey is just getting started. There's always new challenges to solve, innovations to explore, and exceptional talent to uncover. What a career so far.
Yeah, 2 jobs only in recruitment.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. So I started in my first job at 20.
Yeah.
Before that, I was a paralegal. So
Were you?
yeah, I used to work up on Macquarie Street.
Oh my God, how funny.
And I just got sick of traveling to the city every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at me now. And I approached a Parramatta recruitment agency to find another legal job in Parramatta, because I lived, in the area at that time. And the owner of that business offered me a job starting a legal desk in their recruitment agency. That's so that was my opening to recruitment life.
So how old were you? 20?
20.
And how long were you with that business?
17 years, 16 years,
right.
yeah.
And so then how long was Sirius?
5 years this year in July.
That's amazing. What kept you in that first role so long? I
would never have left if they didn't sell the business.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was an amazing role. I quickly transitioned from I was doing a perm legal desk.
Yeah.
And then, my first week I was like, what do you mean I have to cold call?
Yeah. I think a lot of us who all of us kind of fell into it, right? But then we go, oh, it's a sales job. Right.
Yeah,
okay,
we're not helping people here. Well, we are, but this is not it's a sales role. And I remember in my first 4 weeks, the owner said, I don't think recruitment's for you. And I went, I'll fucking show you. I will show you. I will be the best.
Nothing will fire you up like someone not having belief in you.
Yeah. So during that time, it saw me move into a dual desk role, white collar, and then I moved into blue collar. Then I became the business manager of the white collar division, and then across the general manager across both divisions, and expanded. And it was a beautiful little company to work for.
How amazing.
And they sold the business while I was on maternity leave during COVID. So how do now I find a job?
Yeah.
And I guess back then I wasn't a big LinkedIn person. I remember, people message me on LinkedIn all the time asking me for, are you interested in blah, blah, blah. So I thought I might as well go through all those messages from like years ago and started my journey.
And you did it all on your own, as in like reaching out to you recruited yourself?
Yeah. I didn't use an agency or rec to rec. But I started interviewing and landed at Sirius. And obviously after 15 years of recruitment and my many years of management experience and sales leadership. I had a lot of options, I guess, at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy that I chose Sirius and would never look back.
5 years later.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, isn't it? Because you're so, I mean, I feel like, and obviously my whole network is recruiters, right? So my LinkedIn is probably very different to a lot of recruiters, but I feel like you're so prominent on LinkedIn and in the industry now. And I know LinkedIn has really become like its own thing in the last, 10 years, but what kind of caused that shift for you in kind of being more visible, LinkedIn, like that brand building side?
Look, I joined Sirius to grow out their non-tech side of the business.
Yeah.
And then moved into the role I am. I think having the position that I am, part of the objective of Sirius is to have, better brand positioning or how do we engage and attract the right people to come work for us. And I think leading from the front in that way and being that, not the face, but being the presence that I need to be online is certainly an important aspect of any role in leadership.
Yeah, fair enough. What surprised you most about your, like, if you look back over your recruitment career and like, the start of your career, obviously like the sales piece, bit of a shock. But like what surprised you most about kind of what it has looked like if you were to look back at it?
Well, recruitment's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that people don't understand the resilience that needs to go into having any role in recruitment, whether you're starting out as a trainee or moving into a leadership role or building a business, building a desk, finding your right market. It is hard. And I think a lot of people give up really early.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably the most shocking thing for me as well, like not being great at it at the beginning, but then, really wanting it and wanting to prove people wrong early on. And I think if you have that fire in your belly, you'll always succeed.
Yeah, totally. It's funny, isn't it? Because I started when I became a consultant, literally like in that couple of week period, like Lehman Brothers crashed in the UK and like the whole market just went into disarray. And I just remember being like looking back on it now, like it was the best thing. It was the best way to cut my teeth because I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
And like everyone was saying no. And so it was about finding the people that would say yes. And
it's like the GFC here in Australia.
Totally. Yeah. And I really feel for consultants who started their career, like even in COVID, because, or the COVID boom, I mean, because everything you touch turned to gold. And there's consultants now that, 3 or 4 years later are like only really, or the last couple
learning
of years.
How to do BD.
Learning how to do the BD piece. And I think it's really hard to do it that way round.
Yeah.
I think when you start in this job and you just have that expectation from the beginning, like, oh, like there is a big prominent part of this role that's sales and the resilience and dealing with rejection. And I think getting that bit done up front is so important in longevity and then actually being able to weather.
And just knowing how to have conversations, hard conversations as well with clients or with candidates. I mean, that pocket of the GFC and then moving into the COVID boom, I think one thing that was really important for me at Sirius and what's carried us through is that they never stopped BDing. Not one single consultant never stopped BDing. And I think they're all in great positions now because of it.
It makes such a difference.
People that are still here and people that have moved on as well.
It makes such a difference. And what's been like the hardest season of your career so far? Because you've obviously got kids, obviously the business that you knew and you loved and you were committed to selling in a period of like absolute chaos in the world, and you would have had a small person. Like, is that it for you, or is it actually something else that has been kind of tricky for you to manage?
If I'm completely honest, like this year has been the hardest for me.
Okay.
And I think I've got 2 kids. I've got a 13-year-old, well, nearly 13. I'm going on 19, and she's beautiful, Mackenzie. And I have a 5-year-old son who's just started kindergarten this year.
Okay.
So I think navigating 2 children at school and having a pretty big job, and I seem to be just like missing things, the school things. Not the work things. And it just shocks me that I can't just get my head around absolutely everything, which is obviously not, I've got a beautiful support system at home. My husband's fantastic. He actually, when I took the role at Sirius, he and Spencer was only 14 months. He was a stay-at-home dad for 2 years.
Amazing.
So I've had great support.
Amazing.
I'm a very, very lucky woman. Now that we're all back at work and school and doing, full-time family life, it's hard and it's hard to juggle, and we're all exhausted, and but it's, you know, it's life and it's great. But I think definitely adapting to my little baby boy going to school has been difficult. He's at cross crunchy this morning. Oh, I know, I'm going to cry. And like, you know, there's certain things you got to pick and choose, like where you can be in, and I've got a very, very flexible workplace, and you know, our owner has 4 kids himself, so the ability for me to duck out and do, God, I am crying. Yeah, I think it's just difficult because I am not having any more children.
Yeah.
And that is kind of, you know, we made that decision early on, but I think that is kind of, this is navigating this hard part is hard for me.
You know what? I feel exactly the same, and I might well up as well, because we very much. I know, like, where's the?
Yeah.
Because we made the decision after Emma, who's 3.5, that we were one and done, right?
Yeah.
And so whilst it's easier in that we've only got one, everything is bittersweet, right? So you feel like if we miss something, or
it's the last time.
It's the last time. Like every first time is the last time. And, you know, I just feel like even in the last year, I'm like, she's going to start school in 1.5 years. Like she's already talking about like, I'm 4 in 6 months. And I'm like, how will I have a 4-year-old? And then she's going to be at school, and it's like, and there's so much to navigate with that. And there's so much mental load with that. But then there's also that like conflicting part of that of just wanting to be in it as well, you know?
And that's right. And like, I'm such a driven and ambitious person. You know, it's that balance of career is my life. Like I am a working mum. Like I love work, but I'm also a mum. Yeah. Yeah. And it's difficult to balance out.
It is.
And a wife, of course.
I know. Well, yeah, that starts to fall down the list a little bit.
It is. It's hard to like, give everybody what they need, and, you know, where's the me time?
Yeah.
And that's what I definitely struggle with.
Yeah. And I totally agree with that. And I don't know, I think as women, you know, and actually, you know, my husband feels this as well, but like there's a lot of guilt when you take time to yourself. You know, it's like you want to work, you want to spend time with your kids. If you want to go and spend 2 hours at the weekend doing anything you're in, that's a big chunk of the time that you get with them as well, right? So you do start to deprioritize that time, or like, you know, try and fit it in at random times, but it almost can become more stressful trying to do it.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. I definitely agree.
Am I enjoying this massage right now? No. I feel guilty.
Can I live with white eyebrows, you know? And yes, I can.
I really loved, Emma now loves coming with me to get my nails done, right?
Yeah.
And it's such a hack because they will do a little paint of hers at the end, so she knows that she has to wait it out.
Yeah.
But like, it's the only way I can get stuff like that done. It's like, I'm not, that is not me time. Like that's just maintenance.
Correct. I've actually decided just to get rid of that. 12 months ago, I was like, I'm not doing nails anymore.
It's little things like that you just never used to think about.
No.
And you used to fit it in on your lunch break or whatever. And then, I can't even imagine with school and then the school holidays thing. Like there's just...
Yeah, it's going to get crazier.
Yeah. And how do you, like, obviously you said that this year has been the hardest with that and it's a big transition. Like, what does that look like day to day for you guys as a family? Like how, and things are always going to get dropped, right? I had this really good, I think I saw this LinkedIn post and it was someone talking about like, you know, you've got all of these balls, right? And you can't carry all of them, but it's just like the glass ones can't be dropped, right? So you always have to figure out which ones are the glass ones and which ones are the plastic ones that will kind of bounce back and there won't be too much damage. But like, how do you guys, like, what does a day look like for you? How do you navigate it at the moment?
Yeah. So the biggest thing for our family is having dinner together every night, and I cook a meal every night.
Do you really?
Yeah, every single night.
God, that's amazing.
So I pre-plan all my meals. Like that's the thing I love the most, right? Cooking. So I've got to find time to squeeze that in, whether I get home at 7 or whatever time. So biggest thing for us is we have a family dinner, homemade dinner every single night. And that is something that I pre-plan every Saturday and then do shopping Sunday or whatever. But a day for me looks like the alarm goes off at 4:30.
Yeah.
The days that I'm in the office, it's, you know, packing lunches or jumping in the shower, and my husband takes my son to before school care, or depends on what he's got his own business, so it depends on how flexible his day is. But I'm basically on the train or driving halfway in and grabbing the train from there. And in the office, I don't get home until about 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, at the moment it's reading, Nip sat in a tin and home readers with Spencer, and Mackenzie's in year 8. So it's catching up, on her day and the boys and all the, fun, exciting things that she's going to tell me too. But it's always dinner, but we actually are in bed by about 8:30, the whole family.
Yeah, okay.
Different on the weekends, different when my daughter plays, they both play league tag. So, if there's training in the afternoons or she plays a night game now on a Friday night. So, yeah, and sport on the weekends, but it's just a long day and it's like go the entire time.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. The fact that you managed, we still struggle with getting everyone to eat at the same time.
Yeah, right. Non-negotiable in our house.
Yeah, we do it a couple of times a week, and we will start doing it more when Emma goes to bed a bit later.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the pickup, but food is a big thing for us. And in my family growing up, that's what we did. You know, my mum worked full time. She was a single mother. She had 3 girls. And she worked full time, and we had dinner on the table every night at 5:30. And now I think about it, just as a teenager, being like, "What's for dinner tonight?" She'd tell us, and be like, "Oh," imagine,
oh no,
the level of work that she was doing. Yeah. But that was a big thing for us growing up. Home cooked meals, sit around the table, debrief on your day. It's something that it's going to be really important to me.
Yeah, it gives the kids time to decompress a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Because, as soon as they get home from school, nobody wants to know, how was your day? What'd you do? What'd you learn?
Yeah.
So they have time to just not think about that. And then we talk about, something good or something bad that happened during the day. So that's nice. Yeah.
I really, I do that. I do it with Emma when I pick her up. I'm like, how was your day? Who'd you play with? Yeah. And I always find that
she's like,
she just needs a moment. It's like, Mum, and then she'll start telling me stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, you just needed a moment. Same as I need a moment.
Yeah, that's right.
And obviously with your commute, do you just work on it? Or do you
it depends. It depends on what I need to do and how I'm feeling. I would love to just sit there and read my book or, but normally if I know I've got a busy day or I haven't planned and prepped enough for the following day or that morning, I will work the entire time on the train, which just gives me that buffer and breather because no day goes to plan. You have your schedule or whatever and you have time to block out to think or whatever, but recruitment's crazy, right? And things change daily. So working on the train is great. Or if I drive, podcast.
Yeah.
But there's probably not a lot of times where I just, blast my favorite music and chill out.
No, you forget to do it, don't you?
Yeah.
And I'm really in the car by myself now, but sometimes when you get in and you look back and there's no one in their seats, you're like, oh my God, this is liberating. But I often just opt for silence nowadays.
Yeah,
I find
it too.
Everything is so busy
Gives you
and
time to
stimulating. Think. You're like, actually, I've never valued silence more than I do now in my life.
Very true. And it's a good, allowing yourself to think and giving yourself time to think as well.
Yeah.
It makes you better at what you do.
And how do you keep those boundaries between work and home? Are you the type of person that is logged on the evenings? Can you switch your brain off? Because that's something I really struggle with is that disconnect piece of work is over. And I think it's almost that transition piece from being in work mode to being in mum mode. That transition for me, it takes a bit of time. I really struggle with just flipping the switch straight away. And I don't have great boundaries around getting my head out of business mode. Is that something that you struggle with or that you actually find that you're pretty?
I think because I'm up and out of the house pretty early on the days I am in the office, the days that I come home after I've worked in the office, I'm straight in the kitchen, cooking dinner and prepping and planning. I often won't log back on unless I really need to.
Yeah, nice.
Because I've had that extra hour and a half on the train each way to do what I need to do. The days that I work from home, very different story. I find that the days I work from home, I'm, my office is just right there. And it's kind of in an open space where the lounge room is and the kitchen is. And so I find myself logging on a lot earlier and I find myself logging off a lot later. And I might in between make dinner or something like that. But, the days I work from home, it's often you don't have lunch, or it's a different
funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you just get into a zone and a rhythm, and you get a lot more work done, of course, but it's also the times you work from home, you're supposed to be able to pick up your child and sit and do things, but it's quite the opposite. I find for me, which is a boundary I need to work on.
Yeah, it's definitely something for me. It's like I don't have that, often have that circuit break of the commute, right? Yeah. And it's different if I've been in with clients and then like I go home and then I get it's almost like I've had that decompression.
Yeah.
But it's like last email, go to pick her up. Like you're still like your brain is still there.
And sometimes when things are on at work, I struggle to sleep as well.
Yeah.
That could be the perimenopause. I don't know yet.
I've been thinking of this
I'm blaming work, but I'm definitely definitely
I never used to be up at 3 a.m. every day.
I know.
Like,
It's a crazy time, isn't it?
And I don't know whether it's also because I get up, I'm the same as you, 4:35.
Yeah.
I need a bit of time in the morning to myself. Like,
yeah, okay.
Before everyone else is up. And also like that, I say time to myself. I'm not sat there meditating anymore. Right? Yeah, it's like it is normally exercise, but then it's unloading the dishwasher, doing the lunchbox, but I just kind of need that time. But I think because I know I'm getting up so early, if I wake up at like that 3 a.m., it's like it's only an hour and a half away. Like,
I know.
What's the point?
It's crazy, isn't it, to think like that?
Yeah. Just like there's no 7 a.m. lines anymore, No. Think about my pre-kid routine in the morning.
I don't remember it.
Gym.
Yeah.
Have breakfast.
I was never a gym person.
Well, that wipes out one thing on your list that you have to do anyway.
That's the glass ball I've dropped.
Yeah, totally.
I've dropped it for 20 years.
Never picked it up.
No, never picked it up.
But yeah, like you have to choose what your priorities are.
Yeah.
And what's important to you. Like you said, cooking. Like that's your non-negotiable, right? That's your downtime. That's what's important to your family. That's how you literally feed your family with love. Like that's how, especially with a busy job. What is something that you have had to let go of, like an expectation or a standard or a belief, or like that's actually made your life or your career better or easier? Or
that's a tricky one. I haven't had to think about this. What have I had to let go? I think control.
Yeah.
Learning to delegate and learning to hold people accountable and giving them the opportunity to fail.
Yeah, nice.
That's a big one, and that's something that I think everybody needs to work on, right? Everybody wants to, like, I'm a helper, I'm a doer. I want to make your life as easy as possible. I'm thinking I need to make my life easier by making you learn and develop yourself. And most of the leaders that I work with have the same problems, right? They want to be, they want to do, they want to be involved, but we're really disadvantaging the younger people and the younger generation around us and below us if we don't give them something to grow and develop their own skills instead of doing it all the time for them. Or
totally.
Yeah.
And recruitment's such a practical role. You spend so much time in the seat of doing.
Yeah.
And then I think when you move into leadership and senior leadership, it's that real mindset shift of where my value is here, because you're so used to being able to like input, output.
Correct.
Activity, results, tools, like you're practical, everything's tangible. And I think when you sit in that leadership role, I certainly found it hard to shift into that mode of being like, delegating is not offloading, it's empowering.
That's right.
But it's really hard to make that shift.
And I often hear myself giving my leaders advice when I should be taking the advice myself. Well, I should do that. So
you say it and you're like, that sounds
tricky.
Great. I should probably.
Yeah. That's I've over the years that's definitely been something that I've had to focus on.
Yeah. And has there ever been like any times in your career where you feel like you've had to lead in a way that is not aligned with you or not authentic to you? Or do you feel like you have been able to kind of carry you through your leadership journey?
Anyone that knows me will know that I am unapologetically me all the time.
Awesome.
Very, I wouldn't say loud, but very, I wouldn't say direct either. I think that I have a presence, and I've never once wanted to or had to change. I'm very fortunate that the people around me at Sirius like hopefully they like what I bring to the business and my personality. But I think, no, I haven't really had to change. I think I've had to learn to distance myself and set boundaries for myself within the office. And that's purely because I've moved from one role into another.
Yeah.
And I probably think I've done that a little bit too quickly.
That transition.
Yeah, not the transition into another job, but the transition of distancing myself.
Yeah, okay.
Because, you know, I was there all the time and instead of moving to that more strategic level.
Yeah.
But that's reflection, right?
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah.
like we can't, it's how we carry the things that we would have done differently, right? You can only do what you can do at the time with the information you have and with the tools that you have.
Yeah.
And obviously that transition from your previous, because the folk, you obviously said started legal, but then grew out kind of white collar, blue collar, the transition over to Sirius, like culturally, was it super aligned from the get-go for you? Was it, given that you'd been in your previous environment for like such a long period of time?
Yeah.
Was that a big shift for you? And especially with having a 14-month at home, like.
It wasn't, because I think the value alignment for me was there. And recruiters are all the same at their core. They're driven, they're ambitious, they want to achieve, they have personal goals, they have bigger goals. So no, it wasn't hard to transition. And I think the people that were at Sirius when I first started really made me feel very welcome. It quickly, I started the day when we went into our second lockdown. Yeah.
Yay.
So, yeah,
remember that time.
It was difficult to lead and grow a team and become part of a team as well.
Yeah.
Via a camera.
Yeah.
Via Zoom.
And was your son in daycare?
No. So my father, my husband,
that's right.
was
You
a
said
stay-at-home dad.
Stayed at home.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I would be locked in my little office.
Fully remote.
But there for like 12 hours a day, starting a new job, leading a division, and yeah.
Would have taken some guts.
Yeah, it was crazy times.
It was crazy times. I remember that second lockdown was brutal, wasn't it? But like having to deliver all my training online was like killer for those few months.
Yeah.
You know? And it didn't fully transition back. And in my first trimester with Emma, and I was so sick, I was doing all of my training online, but things had just started opening up again. And I'm like, I don't understand how I'm going to travel again. But I literally would be like logging on to do like a 2-hour workshop and then having to lie on the floor for like half an hour, quickly run off for a bomb, get back on. And it was brutal. Like it was exhausting. It was draining for people. I think recruitment became very, very hard around that time.
Do you think we'll ever transition away from an on-screen or like having an online presence in our roles, whether that be training, leadership, development, even client meetings, candidate meetings?
It's so interesting, isn't it? I actually was having this conversation earlier on this week because I think people are craving more of that face-to-face time again. And I think we look at flexibility we still look at flexibility in the way of like, what days do you work from home?
It's crazy, isn't it?
And I'm like, true flexibility. And I was really lucky with my husband in his last role. Like his boss had 2 young kids, right? So he just got it. And it's like true flexibility. Yes, they had kind of rules around when you're working from home, when the office, but the true flex would be like, well, Emma's got the doctors this morning. So of course he's going in at 11 so he can, it's just like, and he would log on every evening and work. And I think like allowing people to work in a way that actually suits what their life rhythm is and their family rhythm is true flexibility. But I think people are starting to crave more of that face-to-face time. I've certainly seen like consultants who have only really been recruiting since COVID start to find it way more enjoyable being out and about meeting people and going to events and holding events. Every event I've been to recently has been packed. I think people are actually craving that. Yeah, I agree. That contact. So I think it will always be there. I think it will always be a useful tool, but I'm hoping that we don't hide behind it forever. Like how different does it feel to sit in the room with someone?
Crazy different. And it's so much better. You instantly build rapport. You can see them. You can feel their emotions. Yeah. Sense their body language. Their
energy, right? Yeah. And even when I decided to do this podcast, one of the options I was looking at was doing it, via Zoom and like just doing the record because it's just me and my business. And then I was like, no, like I want to have real chats with people, and I just do not want to do that.
Sob.
Yeah. Like I just don't want to do. Yeah, I want to see the tears in real life. I want to see them on the table. I just didn't want to do it over a screen.
No, I
was
agree.
like, it just felt so impersonal. And the difference between an in-person meeting. It's so different to online, right? On an online meeting, say it starts at 9, everyone has got another meeting at 9:30.
I know.
Whereas in person, you always used to leave that 20-minute, even a half-hour buffer.
Yeah, I've got to get from here to here, walk, and
so different. And like my online
life was less busier,
so functional, and life, and I think, and I find it hard to be objective to that because I'm like, my life is busier, so I'm like, is life just busier, or is it just that, I had a kid,
certainly busier,
and it just feels busier. But I think people are craving definitely more of that one-to-one.
Yeah.
Just FaceTime with people, community.
Even staff in the office want more.
Yeah. A lot of people have been like, a lot of consultants that I know, and they choose to go in a few days a week.
Yeah.
Like they can work from home.
We have most people working in the office.
Full time.
Yeah. Some people opt to have the days that from home.
Yeah.
But yeah, most often than not, people want to be in the office.
It's amazing. And that's such testament to the culture, right? And the type of people that you're bringing in. I've got a client in Melbourne. They all choose, they can have a couple of days working from home. They all choose pretty much to be there every day. It's blue collar, it's fast paced. They want to be able to like have those conversations and bounce off of each other. And I think there's a lot more of that. And I think it's just then saying like, we've got your back like when you need it. I think that's what people need. They need to know if, I don't know, the washing machine breaks, they can stay at home that morning. It's like proper flex as opposed to counting the hours. And what do you think is different, or not even different, but like what, for women in recruitment, do you think that they carry it in a different way? Like, is there anything that you think women in our industry kind of quietly carry that maybe male counterparts don't, or where the struggles are, the challenges are for women in our space? Like, what are your thoughts around that?
I think women certainly carry a lot more than men, and not to say that we carry more, or what they carry is not hard, but it's just different. And I think being emotionally intelligent around the differences is really important as a leader. I think it's very difficult to hire women into leadership positions, depending on what stage of life they're going through. It's very hard for women to return into leadership positions or new leadership positions after having babies. I don't know if I mean, we have a great group of women at Sirius. We actually have a little club called the Women of Sirius.
Do you?
Yeah, we do breakfasts and we do some lunch.
Awesome.
Yeah, we do like cool things like go to Chicago or, but it's really nice to have that ability to rely on each other and support each other along the way. We certainly want to see more women in leadership, and we promote. We have a really strong promotion culture at Sirius as well to bring people up through the ranks.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just don't want to do that though. They don't want to go into leadership, which is fine. But do I think women? What was the question?
Like just
carry something differently?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think we're looking at myself. I get emotional. I can quickly pull myself out of it. But I think that the biggest thing for me is you just don't know what people are going through on the outside, and to just never be quick to judge, because you just don't know.
Yeah, and I'm cautious of generalizing, right?
Yeah.
But I think as women, naturally more emotional beings, this role, you're dealing with people all day, every day, right? And so I think that emotional element of the job can definitely take its toll.
Yeah.
And then you've got to weigh into that, even just like the hormonal journey women go over a month, let alone then having kids and then
or entering the next phase of their life.
Totally, like perimenopause and then menopause. And like I think there's so, we don't just operate on this even keel, even
That's right.
over a few week period, right? So then when you have a high pressure, busy, quite emotional job, it's a lot. It's a lot. And you can see why then women, the the desire potentially to get into leadership and carry more emotional load, especially in an industry like recruitment, might not be as appealing.
Yeah, that's right. And looking at, you know, when they do start a family, the balancing act, and it is quite different.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of consultants who I know who are like, I don't know if I can go back to running a desk when I've got, you know, an 18-month-old at home. Like it's
You absolutely can.
Yeah.
Because women are amazing.
They are amazing.
And we can do anything.
And I think it's a confidence piece.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how do we actually like bolster women's confidence after they've had families? And I you know, if I run my own business, and I remember like 8 months after Emma, you know, was born, being like, how am I ever going to get back to the same level of confidence in like the work that I do? Like my everything I knew has been completely blown apart, right? And I think it's that emotional support of women returning to the workplace. And actually, like, what do you need to get comfortable again here? You know?
And it's even just returning to work after having a baby. You know, people's bodies change, and we still have to, you know, be this confident, outgoing, you know, corporate girly. And some people, sometimes you just want to put a pair of runners on and not wash your hair for a week. But, you know, that's just regularly. So I think that's difficult as well, like having to get up and having to get up and doing all that, whereas men might just get up and, you know, put a shirt on and.
Oh, yeah. My husband will hate me for saying this. I don't know if he's ever washed his hair with shampoo. Do you know what I mean? Like he's got short, like, I'm like, my whole shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, malarkey. And I'm like, just whack some shower gel on it, you know? It's like a very, very different getting ready experience. And I'm not even like a super girly girl, and I still need some time. Like, if you could give some advice to your younger self, or to like our audience now, women who are coming through into the industry or even stepping into leadership, like to support them with kind of navigating their career and life and everything around that, like what advice would you impart?
Okay, so younger self and younger women, I would definitely say don't be so hard on yourself, because even though the job is hard, you definitely can get through it. Think, looking back, the advice I would give myself is, you know, be kind to everybody, because, you know, you never know. Well, not to myself, but to everybody. You never know what is going on behind closed doors with anyone, and kindness goes a long way. I think seeking advice early, if you're unsure about something, never be afraid to ask. I think sometimes women in general are too scared to show vulnerability and that they can't do it, or that, you know, especially if they're working with a lot of you know, male counterparts, they might be in a different desk or doing better, or, you know, seeking advice early and nailing, you know, your development pieces is really important. Biggest piece of advice, that's probably it, really. And just keep going. Be resilient. We're amazing.
Yeah,
we can do wonderful things.
We are. And what's your go-to outside of cooking? Is there anything else? Like, I've had a fucking day of it. Like, kids doing your head in, work's been stressful. Like, obviously we don't get a lot of downtime, but like, what's your I've had a day of it ritual? You know, if you could, you don't get to maybe do it as much at the moment, but like if you could design it, do it guilt-free, what would it look like for you? Like the ultimate self-care, fuck everyone type thing.
Just leave me alone, and with a maybe a really nice bottle of French rosé, and my, like, I've got the best day planned for Mother's Day, and I've only curated it today. Yeah. So
are you happy to share it?
Yes.
Okay, right.
So the UFC's on, and it's a great title fight, but the Tigers are also playing at the same time, and I'm like, Shane, I don't think we'll be able to watch both at home. Maybe I should go to the pub by myself and have the UFC on and my beautiful Tigers, and like that is the ultimate day, like a big bowl of chicken wings. Like,
oh my God, I love this for you.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love that a lot of people potentially would have expected this to be like, right, well, I'm going to go and get a massage. I'm going to go and do whatever.
No.
Going to the pub on your own, having a few drinks. Like, you know what I did?
Just quiet space so I can concentrate on the game without being asked, Mum.
Yeah, we really struggle with that. Like, that's the football, the AFL has always been one of our things, right?
Yeah.
And we love going with Emma, and we love that she's interested in it and that she's learning all the players and stuff. Sometimes you just want to watch it.
Yeah,
you know?
Just stop talking.
Just want to watch it without someone wriggling around. And
That's
like,
what I want.
Didn't realize like little things like that you just don't get anymore. And so whilst you get the beauty of sharing it with them,
correct,
sometimes you just want the silence.
Absolutely. That's what I'd love. I'd love silence.
Yes. Oh my God. That's what I want for Mother's Day.
Or like take myself out on a little date where I like have the best meal ever, or, you know, something nice.
Yeah. Because I don't know about you, and I obviously love seeing my girlfriends and catching up with my girlfriends, but like sometimes I want that night out on my own.
Yeah.
You know, like I've done it a couple of times where I've literally have taken myself on a little date, got some food, had a glass of wine, taken my Kindle. And
yes.
Sometimes that's what I need. I don't need more stimulation or more energy burn. What I actually need is to be out in the world, but on my own, and remember what that feels
sitting in
like.
the sun. 6 oysters and a glass of champagne. So good.
That's inspired me for Mother's Day. Danielle, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
For your honesty and for sharing your journey. It will be so inspiring. You are an inspiration definitely to the industry. And I'm really, really grateful to have had this morning with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I've loved it. Thanks so much, Laura.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it and have taken something away from it. Click follow to receive new episodes as they're released. And if you know someone else in recruitment who needs to hear this episode, please send it their way. Lastly, leaving a review is so appreciated and helps others find the podcast. I really look forward to seeing you next time.